much. Well, we have new developments in the story that you heard about first on Fox Business. We're targeting the SEC exemptions from public disclosure under the new financial regulation bill.
The chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee now says he's concerned about the Freedom of Information Act exemptions for the SEC, and he says that they are contrary to the very important goals of the Wall Street reform bill.
Senator Patrick Leahy of Vermont saying, quote, "I am concerned about an overly broad Freedom of Information Act exemption. The SEC should immediately issue guidance narrowly interpreting this FOIA exemption in a manner that is both consistent with the president's policy of government transparency and with congressional intent."
Now, Leahy's not the only lawmaker calling for action. Last week, Republican Congressman Ron Paul of Texas introduced what he called the SEC Transparency Act. This is a bill designed to force greater transparency in the Securities and Exchange Commission. It would repeal the SEC amendments in the financial regulation bill, and Congressman Paul is now with us on the phone. Welcome. Thank you for being here, Congressman.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Tell us about what you propose here. What worries you most about what Fox Business first brought to light regarding the SEC exemptions?
Well, I'll tell you what worries me most is how these kind of things get passed, and it takes some people on the outside like Fox News to tip everybody off about how bad things are in Washington, D.C. That's what bothers me the most. But the fact that they slipped this in, and even those who are in charge of the bill, probably aren't fully aware of this. This is why, you know, the people who write the bills, the staff people, slip these things in, and that is also the reason I have a rule. You know, a bill that's complicated and is 200 or 300, if not thousands of pages long, it usually deserves a no vote, because usually, so often, something is buried in there like this. So when I discovered this with your help, I quickly wrote a bill to repeal that provision, giving them this broad authority and further expose what they've been up to.
One of the things, Congressman, you said when you issued a statement about this repeal is that you expect in the coming weeks and months that many more harmful pieces will come to light out of the legislation. Do you have your staff members right now looking through the act to find out what else may be in the details?
We do, but we're also doing the medical bill. Just think of all the kind of things that get stuck in the medical bill, tax increases and further taxes on your medical benefits. So there's a lot of mischief goes on when these big pieces of legislation goes in. But, the truth is we need to haul the help we can get. And to me, that is tragic and is sad. Why wasn't this not exposed before? And I'm on these committees. Mm-hmm. So in a way, I'm responsible too, other than the fact that I reject the whole program and I won't endorse them, and I refuse to vote for these kind of things.
Well, let's back it up a little bit for viewers who might not be familiar with what happened. Fox Business had a lawyer in some events where you're talking with SEC attorneys, and we file on a regular basis Freedom of Information Act lawsuits simply to ask for information so that we can tell you where your taxpayer money is going. It was there that we discovered that there could be an interpretation that the SEC could very well shut down most of the opportunities to respond to these FOIA acts. Can you explain, Representative Paul, why this matters to the average investor?
Well, it does, because what we want is transparency, and the SEC is very, very powerful. And if they do certain things and it's not open to the public, this can harm and damage corporations and the confidence that the people have in the system. And this is the reason why, of course, it's very important, in a practical sense. But these kind of regulations, they always say, well, what they need to do is clarify and tell us what the intent of Congress was. And here we don't even know what the intent of Congress was, because Congress was totally unaware of it. What we have to know is, what is the intent of the people who run these programs, whether it's the SEC or the Federal Reserve? What do they really intend, and how do they have so much power to slip these things in and really damage the free market economy?
Congressman Paul, certainly please keep us updated and our viewers as to what your staff finds in the legislation. Congressman Ron Paul from Texas.
Will. Thank you.